Boom. What is going on, everybody? Was it Wednesday? Yeah, happy Wednesday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. So, today, we are going to be taking a look at a brewery. I think I've had a few of them from this place before. I know I've had a few of their IPAs and all that stuff, but I don't think I've had any stouts from this brewery. So, Westbrook Brewing Company is out of, I think, Mount Pleasant, I think it is. Something like that. Yeah, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. And they have a bunch of different varieties of stuff that seem pretty fun. I know they have one. They have a stout called a beer for drinking when it's cold outside. So it's like they have a bunch of different styles and stuff. But today we got one specifically that caught my attention just because I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan and everything. And I'm a big fan of Imperial Stouts. Because if you guys haven't noticed, I haven't reviewed a stout in a hot minute. Because when it comes to what's coming up in rotation, all that I've had has been IPAs and sours and stuff, so I've been just doing a bunch of those back and forth. So today we're changing it up, getting back in pace for more of winter style beers, I would say. So we got the Gates of Smordor this afternoon. It's their like Imperial Stout / pastry stout made with marshmallows, graham crackers, cacao nibs, and cinnamon. So I feel like this is going to be a nice syrupy, just absolutely body warming experience, just because this guy comes in at a whopping 11% ABV. So definitely, I wouldn't say this is sessionable at all. It's definitely, you're going to be feeling this after at least one. So, I love my good pastry stouts. I love a nice stout during the winter. Keep warms you up when it's cold outside. So, without further ado, I think it's time for us to crack this thing open and see what this thing's all about. But first, I'm going to be drinking out of my untapped tool glass this afternoon. And let's crack this guy open and see what this thing's all about. I'm expecting this to be very, very syrupy in the pour. So let's see what this smells like. Oh yeah, definitely getting chocolatey notes too. I'm expecting the marshmallow to bring through a nice kind of like creaminess. Definitely expecting this beer to be very, very syrupy. Definitely getting like a kind of like a breadiness coming through. Of course, you're going to definitely get a breadiness with a stout just because of those malts and stuff they use bring out like breadiness and stuff. We're going to find out if that cinnamon's too much, because I'm very sensitive when it comes to cinnamon in my beer. To where if there's too much, it's unenjoyable, but if there's that right amount, it works so damn well. But yeah, this smells absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's pour this guy and see what this thing's all about. Oh yeah. Syrupy AF, as black as my soul. A very, very light, minimal, like lightish brown head to it. But look at that. That looks absolutely fantastic. Definitely getting a lot of that like chocolate from the cacao nibs coming through. More of like a milk chocolatey kind of note. The breadiness from the graham cracker notes coming through are really nice. Of course, the malts are going to bring in that added breadiness along with it. Cinnamon is definitely there on the nose. It's not too predominant. But yeah, without further ado, I'm hoping this tastes like pretty close to a s'more. Maybe that cinnamon's going to add a nice little twist to it. So without further ado, let's try this guy. So cheers, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, it's definitely not as sweet as I thought it would be. But all those flavors are still there. It's definitely starting to become more of like a semi-sweet chocolate almost. It's not, I would consider, a dark chocolate. Just because the bitterness from like a dark chocolate note in there. It was usually a little bit more bitter. But yeah. Instantly you taste the booziness. You taste the chocolate in there. You get the breadiness. The marshmallow kind of adds a little slight sweetness that kind of balances out with that semi-sweet chocolate note. And overall, this is pretty damn delicious. I like that it's not too overly sweet, which is really, really nice. Really, really nice. So, overall, you can definitely taste the booziness, and this is a lot more. Now that I drink it, you can feel the warmthness in my throat, which is very, very nice. Coats the mouth, so it's very silky, velvety, and just a very, very syrupy beer, which I always love in my kind of stouts. So, let's look here on Untapped and see, since if you can't get your hands on anything from Westbrook Brewing Co., there's a couple options. Some of these you might know of, so these are pretty good recommendations. So we got one from Rheingeist Brewery called the Barrel Aged Cherry Corral Inc., which is a 12.5 barrel aged beer. And Rheingeist comes out with some pretty good stuff. I would definitely recommend them. So if you can get anything from them, that's probably going to be a good one as well. And then we got one from Dogfish Head, their Cuban style breakfast stout, which it's not showing an ABV, but it's like an oatmeal stout when they use like local Cuban bread, kind of using more coffee notes, and then using like cane sugar in there, so that's gonna add like a nice sweetness. And then we got one from Orpheus called the Donut Revolution, the chocolate blackout cake. That sounds delicious. Holy crap. And it's a triple chocolate Imperial Stout with collaborated with Revolution Donuts. So that sounds pretty damn fantastic. And then we got another one from Westbrook here. It's their maple syrup bourbon barrel age OFYMD, which is their 2020 version, which I think I've seen this one. I don't know if I've seen somebody drink this, or I don't know if I've had this before. I don't remember. And then we got one from Epic Brewing Co. and from the ones that are out of Utah, Colorado, that they have one called the Baptist in the Rye, which is like an 11.5% kind of Imperial double coffee stout. So, to be honest, I'm probably going to suggest the one from Orpheus the highest, just because it's going to give more of those sweeter notes. You're definitely going to, it's not going to be as coffee forward as some of these other ones that would be recommended, because sometimes when you get the notes in a beer that have like the chocolatey notes and have those like dark bready notes and like the bitterness from the malts and all that kind of stuff, kind of brings off similar coffee flavors, but some coffees bring off those notes to where you can compare them to a chocolate almost. So definitely would probably recommend this Donut Revolution. Plus, I want to get my hands on that. That sounds absolutely fantastic. So let's look here on Untappd. Of course, the description's the same thing that I read off on the can. So it's an Imperial Stout brewed with marshmallow, graham crackers, cacao nibs, and cinnamon. And like I said, 11% ABV. And looking at the ratings here, with over 9,481 ratings, this one has an average rating of 4.21 out of 5, which is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. And looking here at my friends list, I have a few friends that actually have checked this one. So you got my father, who checked this in back in September. He gave it a 4 out of 5, saying on a chilly day, it's nice sitting in front of a fire eating s'mores. Well, this time you're drinking it, so yeah, gave it a 4, and then another one of my friends gave it a 4.25. So I guess he forgot this check this in. He had this on backlog, so it says backlog smooth. So yeah, this is definitely a really, really smooth one too. It's not overly bitter from the hopping. It's not too overly bitter from like, it doesn't have that dryness. It has that very, very syrupy mouthfeel. Overall, just the flavors are pretty damn delicious. Pretty damn delicious. So let's start looking at the global ratings here and see what people have to say about this one, because it looks like you can get this stuff all the way around to Georgia. You can get it in Atlanta, up to Maryland. Of course, you can get it in North Carolina, and then you can get it in Mobile, Alabama too. So around that like southern part of the East Coast. So that's pretty cool that they're pretty available out there. So let's see here. This person gave it a 4 out of 5. He actually purchased it in a bottle. And let's see. So this person gave it a 4.25 out of 5. Another person, 4.25. Another 4.25 saying roasty sweetness. Another 4.25 purchase out Tavor. Let's see, another 4. Somebody gave this a full 5 out of 5, saying Stout's an old school NES kind of night. That sounds like a great combo, to be honest. Let's see here. We got another 3.75, 3.75, 3.75, 4.75, 4.25. Very smooth. Yeah, this person gave it a 4.5, saying rich and chocolatey. I definitely agree. Okay, this guy gave it a 5 out of 5, saying like candy in my mouth. Take me back to the campfire s'mores with alcohol. Yep. It's pretty damn close to that, my friend. It's pretty damn close. So, yeah, overall ratings are pretty damn solid on this one. And Westbrook definitely has a nice kind of environment over at their tap room. If I remember correctly, this regular variant of the Gates of Smordor isn't available on tap right now, but they have a special variant of this one that is available at the where is it? Tasting room on tap. I remember if it's in Crowlers or if I think it's on tap as well. So they have their bourbon barrel aged Crowler. You can get in a Crowler. It's their maple bourbon barrel aged Gates of Smordor, which sound fantastic. And then I think you can get the. Let's see. I thought I saw that. So you can get that in a Crowler, but also on tap. I believe they have the Gates of Smordor there on tap as well, so you can go over there and get the barrel aged version of this, which I think would be so good. You guys know how I love my barrel aged beers, so when it comes to thinking how a barrel aged version of this would taste, I think it would be absolutely fantastic. Those bourbon notes that would come out there kind of enhance those chocolatey notes and just kind of bring it off a nice kind of more boozier experience that I think would mix well with how this one is, even though it's has a nice booziness to begin with, but having that extra bourbony kick to it, I think would just be an overall crazy good beer drinking experience with this one. So, yeah, overall, this beer is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Already going to be a highly recommended one for sure. So, let's start figuring out what we're going to be doing for ratings on this guy. So, let me pour a little bit more into the glass. Don't want this looking empty at all. Take another sip, because why not? And let's look at can art. Yeah, Westbrook has like their own, I guess they have like a style that they're used to doing when it comes to like blank colors and then having like their normal kind of font they use on their cans and all that kind of stuff. So looking at this one, it's a nice touch. I really love the name called the Gates of Mordor. Of course, with it being a stout, you kind of have that dark chocolatey kind of brown in there. You have the s'more being pulled apart at the top, and then kind of having just like a really, really clean and classy logo. Of course, kind of bringing in some Lord of the Ring elements as well, with the marshmallow, with the sandwich being on fire, and then it kind of using these knights as like kind of how the ring rates would be. So bringing in their love for Lord of the Rings into this one, I think it's an absolutely cool, really cool idea that they did this one. So yeah, I give this one a solid 4 out of 5. I really like it. Of course, the main thing that would make me catch this for the bring what my attention to when it comes to a liquor store or bottle shop would be the name. To be honest, Gates of Mordor, I think, is the main kind of marketing thing to where, of course, there's a bunch of Lord of the Rings fans out there. So when if you're a craft beer fan as well, you'll see Gates of Mordor and be like, yep, got to get this. So I think they did a really good job marketing it that way. So 4 out of 5 for can art for me. And let's see, if I went over to Westbrook Brewing Co. and had this beer in a flight, would I get another one, or would I possibly get a crowler of it to bring back? Absolutely, absolutely. I'd probably get a 4-pack. If I can get a 4-pack of this, if they had it available in cans, I'd probably get it. It's damn delicious. Definitely something to warm you up on a nice cold day. Of course, like I said before, it's not too sweet. It's not too overly bitter. It's just very, very well balanced and just a very, very smooth Imperial Stout. And they did an absolutely fantastic job with this one. So big shout outs to Westbrook for coming out with this. Now I think it just needs to be on the list of me trying to find that bourbon barrel aged one, especially that maple one, adding like that little bit of extra sweetness to it to kind of make this a little bit more boozier and more bourbony kind of notes coming through, along with that kind of maple flavor adding to like a sugary sweetness. Yeah, count me in for that for sure. So let's see what we're going to do about our final rating for this guy. Just had a 13% marshmallow and chocolate Imperial. That sounds delicious. And Ian, I'll probably be seeing your check-in on that pretty soon. So, or if you already checked it in, I'll check Untapped after this when I check this one in. But overall, yeah, this one's absolutely outstanding. Outstanding. So, I think my final rating for this one, I'm going to give this one a solid 8.5. 8.5 out of 10 is where I'm going to leave this one. Very, very good. There's some things that I may have want a little bit more of, especially when it comes to a s'mores kind of stout. I want to taste a little bit more of the marshmallow. I'm always craving that creamy kind of sweet marshmallow flavor to come through, even though it's kind of it's not a very strong note when it comes to adding in a beer. I may have liked it a little bit more if it was more like a milk chocolate, kind of like a Hershey's chocolate kind of chocolate flavor. But overall, the chocolatey notes are great. The breadiness in there from the graham cracker and those malts bringing in there is good. That kind of slight bitterness, kind of making it with like the semi-sweet chocolate, along with, of course, them slightly hopping it just to kind of add bitterness to it, because it's what you do. But other than that, yeah, I can't really find many other flaws with this one. This one's pretty freaking awesome. So if you guys can get your hands on this Gates of Mordor, or if you can go over to the brewery and get the maple bourbon barrel aged version of this, don't hesitate, just do it. I think you'll absolutely love it. It's definitely up there with some of the better Imperial Stouts that I've had. So I think, yeah, 8.5 is where I'm going to leave this one. Very, very solid. Great job, Westbrook. But other than that, that is pretty much what I got for you guys today. So thank you, everybody in chat, for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Of course, if you want to get your hands on anything from Westbrook, you guys have heard me talk about Tavour right now all the time when it comes to how they get thousands and thousands of different beers available. They're out of Washington State. They ship all around the country. So if you want to get on there, it might be a little bit tricky sometimes to get delivery, just because they don't deliver everywhere, just because some spots don't have like a local carrier service that would deliver to your house or that they're partnered with. So overall, yeah, they did a fantastic job. So Tavour is always an option to pick this one up. Of course, you're in like the southern states around like Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, Alabama. You may be able to find this at your local liquor store or bottle shop. So just keep an eye on it. Or, of course, always ask the owner at the liquor store if you go there and they want to try to get into new styles of beer they get in. Always find stuff that you can see if they can get in, because if they can distribute it, or if they find a distributor that will bring it to them, it's a new beer that you can pick up at your local liquor store. So always recommend growing your relationships with the people that buy the beer at your liquor stores, just because you can always find something new and interesting, and who knows, you might be able to find this one from Westbrook and bring it into your local shop so you can have a new favorite. But other than that, let's see, last but not least, of course, if you want to see a social media aspect of beer drinking when it comes to checking in beers, getting badges, having just a good time, just what it's pretty much craft beer social media, always going to recommend getting yourself on Untapped. It's a great platform. You can use it on Android or iPhone, along with using it on your desktop if you want to use it through the browser. You could see people like me, Kentucky, Duchess is on there, Kevin's on there, Lee, not the real Gerard Butler's on there, the Typhon, Sean, and Lizzie are on there. So a bunch of people are on Untapped just checking in beers, having a good time. It's just a really, really cool kind of platform. I'm on there all the time checking what's kind of popular right now, what's popular in my area, all the kind of stuff. And they overall just make that app just a really, really easy to use and comfortable app just to have fun and drink craft beer with. So always, if you want to shoot me a friend request, link to my profile is down in the description below for you guys. So if you want to shoot me a friend request there, and I'd love that, because I can see what you're drinking and what's available near you and all that kind of stuff. And who knows, I might be able to find that near me and do a review on it. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. So again, thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Help me out a lot. And if you're new to the channel and like what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell too. That would be a big thing. I'm trying to get close to 500 within the next, it'd be cool if I could hit 500 by the end of this year, but I don't think it's going to happen. But this is a grind, people. We're all kind of seeing new faces here every once in a while, and I'm just going to keep chucking out these reviews whenever I can, whenever I'm not working. So, again, thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are amazing. And I'm going to end this like I always end it. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see you all next time. Cheers.